Okay, I'm just gonna check what time it is for a minute. It's 7:30 and this is the 9th of February 2011, and I'm out here because the cluster is out early tonight. It's not 5 a.m. and there's a plane, it appears to be a plane coming close to the cluster. I'm going to go for the plane, see if it's real. Hold on, I missed the plane. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, that's no plane. Hold on a minute. I'm in a good position for it. Okay, that doesn't look like a plane. Now it does. Hold on. Let's see. Wow, it's disappearing. Plane is disappearing. That is a hologram. It's not visible. No, that was no plane. Nope, no plane. Okay, let's see if this is a cluster. There's a plane near it again. I'm gonna go for the plane. Okay, that one disappeared. I can't find the plane. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think these are planes. They keep vanishing. That's disappeared. I don't see it anywhere. Okay, so that's moving all over the place. I don't know. That's not a plane either. I don't know where it went. It just vanished. Okay, I'm gonna go for the cluster. That seems to be in one spot. Okay, back up. Okay, there's the cluster. Okay, this is now way over on the west side. It's I'm definitely over at Etobicoke. Maybe even further out west. And it's really high up. Okay, it's only 7:30. This is not 5:30 a.m. now. It's same cluster, looks like. And it's hovering at over Etobicoke now. Maybe even the edge of Mississauga, and it's only 7:30. It's not its usual time. The clouds have lifted. It was supposed to be a snowstorm, but I guess it hasn't come yet. So there it is. I'm at 80x. I'm using a Canon. This is not optical. This is intelligent 80x zoom, and the thing is really moved off now. Far up. It's going up higher and higher. It's in a plasma state and it's really high up. I can't get any closer because I only have 80x on this camera, but that's at least I can see it. I can magnify it later with a program. It's really high up. It's uncomfortable for me to hold the camera at it this way. Looks like it's moving northwest and coming away from me but towards me. It's coming north, but it's moving more west. I'm just going to take a look with my eye, see how high that thing is. Okay, it's high. It is. Okay, it's now in its particle state and I can't see it because it's invisible. That's what it does. I gotta back off to find it. There. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, that building there, the lower right-hand corner, is 30 stories, and you can see that the UFO is sending EMP pulses to the camera and it's blurring the image. I have no zoom on now and it should be perfectly clear. And the thing is sending pulses all the way down here from all the way up there. That's a 30-story building in front of me. And I'm also on the 18th floor of a 30-story building. Or something like that. I don't know how many floors they have exactly. Maybe 20-something floors. But I'm not on the top floor. I'm on the 18th floor. And I'm on the balcony. And the thing is now moved up really high up. And you can see by the way I'm raising the camera, according to the building, that the object is like really high. And it's really blurring the camera. He's blurring the camera. I can't see it. Okay, I'm at 80x. It's in a plasma state. Before it was in a semi-plasma state when it distributes its particles like that over a wide range and covers a great distance, and it just showers everything with the particles, and then it collects them in a second and goes back into a glowing ball like that, or a cluster that's a hexahedron shape. So nobody can really be sure what its real shape is because it changes to so many different shapes, but the original shape, I believe, is the hexahedron cluster, and that's the shape I see it most of the time in. Or then it turns into a plasma state and then it's a glowing ball like that. Then you can't see the cluster anymore because of the intensity of light. The object is very hot right now because that's just ionizing the air and turning all the air molecules into plasma. It's really high up. I'm at 80x and all I can see is a little dot. I'll have to use a program to magnify this into larger size. But weather is clear, at least for the moment, and I'll be able to get a good shot, a good magnification, and see what it really looks like. Because right now it just looks small. And looking also through the eyepiece, it even looks smaller, because everything looks small through the eyepiece. I'm trying to center it. I'm not moving the camera. It's the object that's moving. It seems like it's standing still, but it's in a hover, so it moves back and forth and sideways. And I'm trying not to shake the camera. See, there's lights next to it, and that's not a plane. There's a few of them around there, and I thought they were planes before, but they're not planes. They're just fake planes, and there's no sound of jets or anything. If they were jets and flying over my head, I would definitely hear them, because I'm up high myself on the 18th floor, so I would definitely hear the sound of the plane of any kind. Even if it was a single propeller airplane, I would definitely hear it. I would definitely hear a jet even louder that has 4 jets or 2 jets. But I haven't heard any plane sound whatsoever. Later I'm going to slow this down and see what sound this produces, because this is there's clusters that revolve around the nucleus at such a high rate that their pitch is above our hearing level, and the frequency is too high. So the only way you can hear what sound they make is by slowing the film down to a lower speed, sometimes once slower, sometimes twice, but at 3 times slower you can definitely hear it. That seems to be their frequency, and that's with window movie maker, 3 times slower. You can usually start hearing it at 2 times slower, sometimes even at 1 time slower. It all depends and varies according to the speed of the revolutions of the clusters around the nucleus up there. And because that plasma ball is the nucleus, and clusters revolve both inside and outside of it. And I've put up videos showing the way clusters rotate inside and outside of the ball, of the nucleus there. And if you're interested in finding out, that's what you should do, is check out some of my other videos where this object is closer. Actually, it's not an object, it's a living entity, and comprised of many other living entities. All the clusters inside are living entities, and the clusters that make them are living entities. So it's a chain of living entities that results in this glowing cluster, and there are living entities which are also clusters all around it. The atmosphere is filled with them of all sizes. They go from infinitely small, and they can be infinitely large. It depends how they join together. If they disband and disjoin, then they can do that infinitely to smaller and smaller pieces. But if they join and keep joining, they can be bigger than a planet, even bigger than a star, because there's a lot of these in space everywhere. And it all depends how many of them get together. I'm starting to think that stars like our sun are composed of these things that cluster in huge masses and have huge volume, and are really many single individuals, numbers you can't even comprehend. And that's what makes up stars, I think, because that it sure looks like it from watching these things, how they get together and glow like this in a plasma state, as hot as the sun, because the temperature in there is as hot as the sun can be. It's amazing. It's a life form, and it's in a plasma state. That's something else. This is no spaceship that's made out of any sort of material. It's a living entity that's comprised of other living entities. It's like a community, and it's not from Earth. It's alien, extraterrestrial, from space. So it does show up at other times, not just 5:30 in the morning, and here now it knows I'm filming it. It's going to be pissed off very shortly and come right at me. It's probably right here now. There it is. When it comes real close, it goes invisible, and I can't see it at all, because it just spreads those particles so fine that they become invisible. That's how small they can be. It can be smaller than what you can see, not just with your eye, but with the 80x zoom camera, and even if I had a microscope here, I would not be able to see the pieces, because they get so infinitely small. Okay, I've been kneeling down filming this, so I'm going to take a break and stand up for a few minutes because it's real cold and I'm just have my pants on cement, so my knees are frozen. I got to stand up for a few minutes and take a break. I'm going to continue filming this afterwards because it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. So consider this part 1 and I'll continue in a few minutes. Okay, I brought a chair to make myself more comfortable, but I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's more comfortable. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. Okay, there it is. It's turned blue. Okay, it's blue. Now it's white. You can see that it can change color in a second. I'm at 80x. It's really high up. And the interesting thing is there's a whole lot of them and they've spread themselves in a constellation. I can see the belt of Hercules and the whole thing. I mean Orion's belt, as they say, but I call it the belt of Hercules. Okay. It knows I'm filming it. And it's extending itself right to me. And that's what's blocking the camera. And I imagine that thing, and I don't know how far it is, but it's far. Not only down on the ground, it's far, but it's far up in the sky. And it knows I'm filming it, imagine. And it's coming right at me with all the particles. It's probably all around me right now. It's amazing. And so what I was saying is there's a whole bunch of them. And they made themselves look like a constellation. I don't think we can see the sky anymore. You see how they block the camera like that? You can't see anything? Well, that thing is right in front of it. And I could even feel it. It's all over me. But what can you do? You can't do anything about them. See? And it just keeps zooming down on me. And I'm not touching the zoom. I'm at 80x steady because it's so far away. I wouldn't be able to see it without zooming in. I can see it with my naked eye, but it's like a pinhead. That's how small it looks. And it's right in front of the camera right now. And I'm just going to leave it at 80x and wait for it to move off, because it's definitely right here. The interesting thing is that it can be here and there all at the same time, because what it does is just send its particles here and lots of them remain up there. So the particles that come here, they're all over me on the camera and they block the view. I can't see anything, and it checks me out at the same time. So it's a real intelligent entity, or entities, not just one, millions of them, zillions of them, and they know what they're doing. And what they're doing is making us believe we see constellations when we're seeing them, because they're in the exact positions where they're supposed to be and move along with the rotation of the Earth and the way the sky is supposed to look above us, and they stay in position. So we don't even doubt that it's the constellation, but what it really is these things. I mean, if you think that that's part of the Orion Constellation, it's only maybe 30-40 kilometers away. I don't think Orion is that close. And it wouldn't be doing that, what this thing is doing, that's for sure. I mean, check it out. And it's even here, not at the right time either. 5:30, maybe there'll be another batch at 5:30. What I think is they're here all the time now. There is no more schedule. And they're here to stay, and you're going to be seeing a lot of them all the time. Everybody. You won't need a camera. You won't need anything. They're going to be coming down and walking here among us pretty soon. I hate when it does that, because I have no idea where it is. I'm not going to move the camera. I'm going to wait for it to back off, because I know it's here, blocking the view. It can do that for an indefinite period of time. It can just burn out the camera and the batteries. It's happened to me already a number of times. In fact, I just got this camera fixed a few weeks ago, and it was expensive as well. So I'm going to have to back up, because otherwise I won't be able to see it. It's just going to stay here and prevent me from seeing it. Okay, it's gone up higher. I'm at 80x, and it looks even smaller. So this is not a planet or a star, because no planet or a star would be coming close to me and moving back up and changing position and moving left and right and going all over the place. No object like a planet or a star does that. It stays in a certain orbit or path, and it's predictable. This thing is totally unpredictable, and all of them are. You never know where it's gonna be or what it's gonna do. From a distance it looks like it's in one place, but when you get close enough to it, you'll see a lot of movement. It just and now I'm far away from it, even with the 80x zoom, because it's moved up so high. My neck is killing me just from staring at it. But you see how it comes close like that by sending its particles down. Now half of it's up there and half of it's right here in front of me somewhere, and that's what's preventing me from seeing it. I gotta back up. Okay, I'm totally backed off. It's gone invisible, almost. Yeah, okay, so it can do invisible mode real easy anytime. And there it is. So it can be invisible if it wants to be invisible, and no camera and no eye can pick it up. See what I mean? It just blends in and it's gone. Okay, I'm just gonna see if I can get the other ones. I don't know, they're too small, and they're just little pinheads of light. I wouldn't be able to pick them up even on the camera. They're just too far and too small. But I'm sure it's just like this. They're all playing a role here, being a constellation, and it's just them. I don't think we can see the outside past them. They've blocked off our whole view of the universe. They have a shield around the Earth. That's how many of these things there are, and we see what they want us to see, not what's really out there. because you can't pierce through them. If you want to pierce through them, you have to get on a rocket ship and go through them and go into space. Everything else is an illusion. And because it knows I'm filming it, it's gone up so high that even at 80x I can't pick it up. Now before it was a lot closer. So if this was Venus, like some people think it is, or any other planet, it wouldn't be doing that. It wouldn't be coming high and low in 5 seconds like that. That would be impossible for any planet or any star. So this is not a planet or a star. This is a community of living organisms. They're doing this. They're making us see illusions that are really not what they appear to be. What we're seeing is them and what they want us to see. Holographic images, what they produce, and we're not seeing outside, past their screen that they've put around us and isolated us here on this planet. We don't see the universe. You see, I can't even see the sky. That's what it does to our mind. It blocks our mind, so we don't see anything. Only what they say and what they want us to see. But you see, there's nothing. I gotta back off to change the focus to see it. And it knows everything I'm doing. It's well aware of what I'm doing, what we're all doing. They have enough of them watching everything. You can see the camera being blurred. Those are electromagnetic pulses that they're emitting. And entities produce electromagnetism, and by producing electromagnetism and turning it into electrical high voltage, they create plasma and charge up the atmosphere, ionize it, and turn it into plasma. And that also serves to hide them from us, because we only see a glowing ball and not what's inside the glowing ball. There's a whole lot of things going on. People need to start waking up and really start looking around what's around them, because the things that appear to be around you and seem so real are nothing. They're not even real. This is supposed to be part of the constellation, and look at it. How can it be? How can that be part of a constellation? But it's in the right position. This is where the foot is, at the bottom of the constellation. The bottom toe of the left foot, the way the constellation is supposed to be. The guy with the arrow with the belt around him, I mean the bow and the arrow and all that, and this is the toe of the left foot, this particular point of light. And look how close it is to me. And the others are in our atmosphere. They're not outside of our atmosphere. All of them are inside our atmosphere, but they're up so high that I would need like a 500x camera to get them all. I need like 500x zoom to reach them. This camera is not good enough. I'm gonna get a better camera and check them out. Next check, and I get a better camera. I'm tired of guessing and not being able to see right to it up front and personal. So I'm going to spend some money and get a good camera. This is a good camera, but I need a better camera. And I need a camera that has a much better zoom and can go farther. I'm surprised that all these people with these great big telescopes and everything, and even that work for the government and all, they don't use them to see these things, or they don't want to see these things, or they know about these things, so they don't want to. They pretend that they're not here, but I don't know where that's all leading. These things are here, and they're here to stay. And we better find out why they're here and what they want. Otherwise, You have serious problems. Ignorance is no excuse. Every time I go for a parking ticket, I hear the same thing. Ignorance is no excuse, no matter what happened. And I didn't see the sign or this and that. I hear it from the judge. Ignorance is no excuse. Well, this thing right here in front of me right now, he's going to say the same thing. Well, we were there and you could have seen us. And ignorance is no excuse. Because you saw us and you didn't bother to find out. And look how close it's coming. Now you tell me that's Orion or Venus. How stupid can that be? Yeah, keeps lunging at me by throwing its particles my way. That's how it does it. Okay, my neck is killing me. I gotta take another break. Last a few more seconds. It looks like it's gonna do something. No. He went back into a plasma ball and higher. Okay, I gotta take a break. My neck is sore. Okay, that huge plane, supposedly the plane, went right over my head and there was no sound. You can hear that I was filming before, and that just passed over my head. And look, there's no plane. It's a couple of clusters, 3 or 4, no plane. Okay, there's not a sound of a jet or a motor. They went right over my head. And look how low it is too. I'm gonna back up. It's just clear that building. It went like right over my head and it didn't make a sound. I'm gonna see if I can see this constellation. Okay, I can see some of them. Hold on. I can't get them all in, but I can zoom in on that one. Oh, that's supposed to be a plane. Let's see if that's a plane. Okay, I'll zoom in on the thing later. I want to see if this is a plane. Oh, they keep disappearing on me. Okay, I hear jet sound. Let's see if it's a plane. Okay, I don't see a plane. I can't see a plane. I should be able. I just turned off my camera. I don't think that was a plane. Yeah, let me see if I can locate it. I turned off my camera just as I was zooming in on it. Okay, it could have been a plane. It looks like a tail, but I can't be sure. I couldn't hear too much of jet noise. I should have heard a lot more. And the other thing is, I turned off my camera. Okay, I doubted that that's a plane. See, it just vanished. Okay, I'm gonna try and get over here and see if I can pick up the other, what's supposed to be a star. Okay, there's another one of them up there. Okay, that's another cluster. Okay, that's just like this one over here. Wait, I'll have to back up and find this one. Okay, there's that one. That's the one I was filming. And it went invisible. Every time I want to get close, it goes invisible. Okay, so that's the one I was filming. And this other one is over in this direction. I gotta back up so I can zoom in at it. And now they're blocking the camera, I can't see anything. Okay, so there's the top of the balcony. Okay, it's straight up that way, right along the corner. Okay, it's blocking the camera. I'm right on it, and it won't let me see it. It is there. Maybe it's putting in my head that I don't see it. The camera might show it later, because I can see the top of the balcony, and it's right there. There. So that's the other one. You can tell that that's another cluster, and that is not the other part of Orion or any other constellation. Okay, so you can see that what we're seeing as stars are not stars at all, and it's them making believe we can see stars. But look at them. Does that look like a star? Look at that. That's a hexahedron cluster, and those are millions and millions of little parts, and now it's right on top of me, half of it, showering me with microparticles. But that's no star, and that's no constellation. So this one is straight southwest, and the other one is straight west for me, and right over my head, sort of over my head. I feel like it's all over me, everywhere. I know it's all over the balcony. Like when it does that, all the microparticles just crawl around everywhere, and they're all intelligent. Every microparticle is part of it, and I can collect them and join them and disjoin them in less than a tenth of a second. That's all it takes, even less, maybe 100th of a second or something like that. No time at all. Here's another plane. I don't hear any sound. Maybe the camera will pick up the sound. I hear some sound now. I see no plane. There's no plane. Those are all clusters. There's no plane. Wow. I thought I turned off my camera and just blacked it out for a second. Hold on. Okay, those are clusters. That's no plane. I see no plane anywhere. So far, none of the planes are planes. They're all fake. Every one of them has been fake. Every one. They're not real. Anyway, nobody would send them out that fast, one after the other. I must have seen 20 planes, and I haven't even been here 20 minutes. That is not a plane. That's a bunch of clusters. Look, they're even getting bigger and smaller. See that? See how it got really big? Those are clusters. No plane light would do that. It would get smaller as it went away from me, not bigger. Okay. Wow, here's another plane. I can't believe it. I was just gonna go in. I'm gonna sit down for a second. Whoa. These things are exhausting me. Here's another plane. Watch this. Now, did you ever see an airport where they send them out like 2 seconds apart? Somebody better call Toronto Airport and ask them, are they sending planes out one after the other? Isn't that a nice plane? That's from Toronto Airport. Look at that. You like that plane? Must be 1,000 passengers on it, on every inch of it. It's a big cluster. Hold on. Okay. How fast it changes position. No plane would go like that. Wow, it's traveled the whole sky in a minute. That's unbelievable. They don't fly planes that fast. They can't even go that fast. Okay. Another false image and a lie. No matter how much they make you look like a plane, that's not a plane. Simply it's gone too fast. And I saw no part of a plane even when I went close to it. I'll take a good look inside when I get it on a bigger screen. Right now I'm looking through the eyepiece, but you see, no plane would have that slice get bigger like that as it goes farther away from me. Okay, now I'm frozen. That's it.